Good afternoon, welcome to this weekly market update from MRC Markets. Today is the 9th of August 2013. What we'll do today is go through some technical analysis on Euro, Dollar, Cable, Dollar, Yen, Dollar, Swiss, Dollar, CAD, the Aussie and Gold. Just sort of review what's been going on in the last sort of week or so. And yeah, just go through any sort of interesting setups and what I think is going on in the markets and what could be going on for the next sort of week or two. We're not making any trade calls or recommendations in this video. You trade at your own risk. If you could please read our full disclaimer on our website at www.mrcmarkets.com. We have three moving averages in each of these charts. The red one is a 55 simple moving average, the purple one is a 100 simple, and the gold is a 200 simple moving average. Okay then, let's have a look at the euro dollar. So the theme really has just been grinding up really since the pretty much since the start of July really, well the end of June, start of July. Just grinding higher, no massive candles, but you can see every time it comes down it just gets bought up. So you can see that was a recent sort of retracement there. A lot of people would have thought this one that peaked here, you would have thought it would have come down a little bit further, maybe to these moving average or to the 50% and go back up, but no, it just got bought up very early on, and it rotated higher. So yeah, this week it's just been, well, the last 3 out of 4 days this week have been green, but you can see we're now testing this key sort of level. So what's going on? Yeah, the key level is pretty much the 134s, so I should change the colour of this. Yeah, the key line in the sand I think is this 134 level, which was those June highs around here. We haven't had a daily close above that for a while. It was also decent resistance around here as well, and around here as well, where I'm hovering my mouse over. So you can see that we came and tested that yesterday, just about a pip shy of that. But I mean, yeah, so I would not be surprised to see it come back down today. I mean, it already has started coming off a little bit. It's the end of the week as well, so I think people that have been long all week wouldn't be surprised to see them liquidate their positions and see the euro come down a bit. And if it does come down, then this will be the fib that I'll be looking at. This is the daily chart, of course. So this fib here from the lows to the highs, and the 50% comes out at one spot 30.77. So that's if it does top out now. Of course, it can just break these highs and keep them popping higher, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that rotate down today. And remember, we've got these moving averages around here as well. So yeah, that's my take. I mean, I don't really like the shorter time frames. I think they're quite choppy, really. This 4 hour hasn't been amazing. Well, I think this was a decent setup here from this sort of low to those highs there. It was a nice 50%. You can see a nice reaction there, and it rotated higher. So a lot of people will probably look at this dip here from that low that got bought up there to that one there, but I don't think that's a high odds play really in terms of a feel. I think this one's much better. Cable. It's been all about this move here. This was a very nice move recently that happened last week, I think. So yeah, that fib there, the lows at one spot 51.20. So it broke those a bit and bounced off the 1 spot 51 handle pretty much to the pip. And we had some we had Carney speak this week, so a couple of days ago, and then we really ripped up high there. We closed above this 200-day moving average, which is very key to see, and it now looks like it's going to come up and test these highs up here at the 1 spot 57.31s. In terms of bigger fibs, I think this one here, the 50% comes in, so let's clean up it. The 50% comes at around 1 spot 55.94s, and that was also previous resistance around here, remember. That was from that fib there actually. So yeah, very interesting to see that. If we do come up there, and it has come quite near already. I mean, I suppose you could say it's kind of already tested it if you take that off. If you look in terms of the daily candle closes, I'll just zoom in a bit there so you can see it a bit clearer. We didn't have a daily candle close above that 1.5573s, and you can see that was key resistance yesterday to the pip pretty much, and it's starting to come off a little bit today. So if it does come back down, this could be quite an interesting fib here from those lows to highs. It's also previous support as well. 1.5337, that could be an interesting play. Yeah, it's a bit clear on the 4 hour there as well. And yeah, that's it for cable really. Dollar yen, it's just been coming off a bit really. I mean, if you look at the weekly, it's huge uptrend, and it's just starting to come back down a bit. So in terms of the weekly players, we'll probably be looking at this fib here. So the 50% comes at 90.43, or the ultimate one down there. Of course, we're a long way away from that though yet. So in terms of the support, it's all about this 94 level here. Looks like it wants to come back down there, but we've got the 200-day moving average here as well, don't forget, and it formed a nice little reversal candle. Didn't quite test it, but formed a nice little reversal candle, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that get bought up. Is it also bounced off a fib as well? I think it is. Well, if you flip it to the weekly, that's technically still in place. So the weekly candle close would be quite interesting. But in terms of sort of, well, head and shoulders players, you could say you got the head here, left shoulder here, right shoulder here, and it's going to come down and test this 94. So that's all I'm really focused on. I wouldn't really want to be buying around here because it looks like it wants to come down to this 94 level in my opinion. So that's all I'm really focused on the dollar yen really. It's all about this 200-day moving average and this 94 handle. If it does start to rotate higher off this 200-day moving average, and of course you've got the 50-day moving average there and the 100-day as well. Dollar Swiss has been quite choppy in terms of the overall sort of chart, this daily chart, but one thing I'm keeping an eye on is this 78.6 Fibonacci retracement level, which is coming in at the 0.9200s. You can see lovely support around here as well to the left, and you can see yesterday's daily close just closed above it with a nice bit of wick, so it pierced below that and closed above. So I would not be surprised to see this rotate higher and come up and test this 61.8% level over the next sort of week really, and that comes in at 0.9336s. In terms of shorting opportunities, if we start to get a real pop to the upside in this daily chart, then that'll be the fib that I'll personally be looking out for. Or if you want to look at the shorter term time frames, then maybe this little dip here a lot of people will be looking out for, I would assume. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD's been an interesting chart, I think, if you look at the weekly as well. Nice uptrend it's been playing off of. Just need to change the colour down to purple and thicken up a bit so you can see it clearer. So we've got a lovely little uptrend here on the dollar CAD. That's going to be seen on the weekly or the daily, and it looks like it's coming back down now. We also had, I mean, some people would have been maybe looking at this sort of trend line here, but I prefer the sort of overall trend line, which has been holding on that weekly chart. If you look on the weekly, it just looks like it wants to come back down there in my opinion. So for a decent sell opportunity this week that happened was this fib here from highs to lows, came back up 50%, which was also previous support around, previous resistance around here. You can see where I'm holding the cursor over, and that got sold off. It's already starting to sell off, but it needs to get below this 100-day moving average. So the daily candle close will be interesting. I think if we close below that, they won't be surprised to see these lows get taken out and come down and test this trendline support, which is also where the 200-day moving average is as well. So the longer term players I definitely think will be looking at this level here. Aussie dollar. If you look at the weekly chart, it really has just been selling off very aggressively all year really. But it now looks like it wants to grind up. It is starting to grind up this week. It has been anyway, and the 55-day moving average is what we're looking at. I normally look at the 50-day. I don't know why I've got the 55 on here for. There's not a huge much of difference anyway. But you can see there acted as a nice bit of resistance, sold off. So see what happens here. If you get a daily reversal candle, then I won't be surprised to see that one sell off. But nothing massively of interest really. I think I personally would want to be looking at selling opportunities at healthier retracement levels, so that will be the key fib I'll be looking out for, the sort of yearly high I think it's the same level actually. Yeah, that's the yearly high there to the yearly low. The 50% comes at 97.24, so a long way away from that. But in terms of the overall picture, that's what I'd personally be looking out for. But if you look at the 4-hour chart, it's quite messy, I think, at the minute. But this trendline resistance, I would not be surprised to see quite a few people playing at that one. And you can see we're testing that at the minute, so interesting level that. If you get a 4-hour reversal, then I wouldn't be surprised to see that rotate back towards the downside. That's done for the Forex. Let's have a look at gold. Gold, similar to Aussie dollar, it really has just been selling off. No amazing opportunities really in terms of the 4-hour though. A nice little buy. I think I'd rather be going long than short, because unless it really pops up to a much healthier retracement level, it's got a long way. It's come off a long way, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it grind up a bit. And that's one thing. It didn't quite reach the 50%, but a nice little reversal candle there a couple of days ago, and it's starting to rotate higher, closed above the 50-day moving average as well. So that was a nice little opportunity. But yeah, that's pretty much it on gold. Nothing massively of interest. In terms of fibs, was this a fib here on the weekly? Well, no. Funnily enough, actually, though, it's closed above this 50%, and that's now acting as a nice little bit of support there. You can see, notice by these wicks, so it's pierced below. So the weekly candle close will be quite interesting, in my opinion. If we close above this sort of 1300 level, that's the sort of key line in the sand, I'd say, on gold. Oops. Yeah, it's this 1300 level, which coincides with that 50% retracement. So key line in the sand there, definitely, I think, in terms of this weekly chart. If it closes above, then we'll see it rotate higher, I think. And okay, that's it for today. Hope you found that video useful. Nice little wrap up, I thought, of the week and what to look out for. Some interesting setups. We'll update that next week. I'll post a few of these charts on Twitter as well. If there's any other charts that you want to have a look at next week, then feel free to comment under the YouTube video, which I'll post up very shortly. And the Twitter feed as well, which is at MRC_markets. Feel free to send us a tweet there on our Twitter feed. Okay, I hope you found that useful. Hope you have a great rest of the week trading, and I'll catch you next week. Thanks for listening.